Tannadice's hot seat this summer after a managerial career spanning 21 years. A decision will be taken later on his future as club chairman.
Well done, Victor.
Jim McLean's decision to quit comes after more than 21 years in charge at Tannadice. During that time, he's taken Dundee United from a little-known outfit to one of the most respected teams in Europe. In the 1980s in particular, he inspired them to remarkable heights. The success story began in season 79-80 when they lifted their first major trophy, beating Aberdeen 3-0 in the final of the League Cup, a trophy they retained the following season. In 82-83 at Dens Park, they pulled off the big one, clinching the Premier League Championship. That was followed by two near misses in Europe, losing 3-2 to AS Roma in the semi-final of the European Cup and 2-1 to IFK Gothenburg in the final of the UEFA Cup. But recently success has been difficult to come by, and a recent clash with Scotland striker Duncan Ferguson hasn't helped matters.
Well, I think the quality of performance, which as everybody knows, very difficult to please, and there's no doubt at all that the erratic performances, in particular this season, have confirmed that, as I said earlier, there must be something more enjoyable than what I'm finding in this job at the moment.
What makes you feel, though, that someone new coming in can change the performances on the park?
Well, at the end of the day, I think somebody's got to do that, because I've had enough, and I think I've had a good innings. I've been very fortunate to work with the people that I've worked with, and at the end of the day, everything comes to an end, and there's no doubt that this is the right time for me and for the club.
McLean leaves having failed to fulfil one particular dream, victory in a Scottish Cup final. 6 finals have all ended in defeat. The players heard the news last night as newspapermen phoned for comment.
I was not totally surprised. I think the manager's in the last 6 or 7 months has been hinting that maybe he's just had enough. He's done it as much as he can do, and I think he's looking to do something else.
How hard an act is he going to be to follow?
Partly impossible to follow. He's been Dundee United for the last 20 years. In the last 7 or 8 years, I think he's been chairman or on the board as well. The new manager will have to be a strong man to come in and dictate, to the players that it's going to be a new era, really.
The reaction from fans in Dundee's city centre was mixed.
Well, I'm sorry in a way to see him going, because I can't see who could take over, especially if he remains there and do the sort of job that he's been doing himself.
Things like the Duncan Ferguson issue, he's too hard on the players, and he perhaps hasn't spent enough money in players, and the way they've been playing, it looks pity, but they haven't really achieved much.
So after more than 21 years in and out of the dugout, what will McLean do on Saturday afternoons?
It'll be absolutely brilliant. I'll be sitting there saying, why the hell is he playing so-and-so, and why is he not doing this, and why is he not doing that? I'll be just sitting there like Alan Saunders and the rest of them.
United will now advertise for a successor, with coaches Paul Sturrock and Paul Hegarty already being linked with the post. But it could be the Tannadice board will look for a more established man.
And he has got a nice smile, hasn't he?
Could be within a matter of weeks. Britain's longest-serving boss has yet to decide whether he'll continue in his role as club chairman. Jim McLean took over at Tannadice 21 years ago and led the club to a Premier League title, 2 League Cup wins and the final of the UEFA Cup. Jim McLean's finest hour when the Premier Division title went to Tannadice for the first time ever. But after guiding United out of provincial obscurity to become a major force in the Scottish game, McLean has decided that it's time to go.
I was intending to finish in the summer anyway, so I think that as we're now out of the Scottish Cup and we won't be winning the Premier League this year, I think that if someone can be found earlier, then it's better that we get things turned over now.
Would you even try and appoint someone within the next couple of weeks?
Well, it'll be up to the board, and at the end of the day we're looking at hopefully who will apply, and after that we'll take stock and make the decision.
Under McLean, United became a force to be reckoned with in Europe, but domestic problems, including his often strained relations with the media, may have contributed to his decision to go before the summer.
The most important thing as far as I'm concerned is that I've had enough, and that's the only important factor. There has been recent media problems that everybody knows about, but they've had very little influence. there's no doubt that my intention was that at the age that I'm at, to be cutting down, and I'm most certainly certain now, including in view of the recent events, then I'm certain that there must be better things to do with my time at my age than what I've been doing with it lately.
You're obviously referring to the Duncan Ferguson affair and the repercussions of that.
No, I'm referring to the whole Rangers affair rather than the Duncan Ferguson set-up, but that has been very, very minimal.
Okay, now, what's your intention now, Jim? Do you want to stay on as chairman?
Again, it's the most important thing is what's best for Dundee United, and that's all that's important, and the directors and myself will make that decision when the time comes.